Welcome to the Dice Gods. Today we are playing our very first game of Henchman Hardcore. This means we're playing with 1 henchman and 3 minions each. Our encounters are predetermined and are plant explosives, assassinate and vendetta. Hydra is playing with his 10 Thunders crew led by Ototo, who is accompanied by 3 Torikage. He's up against a Neverborn crew from Lillith with Aeslin and her Autumn Knights. We flipped for initiative. Hydra flipped a 4 and Lillith a 1. Hydra wins and will be the attacker, thus deploying first. Hydra divides his crew into 2 and Lillith picks the 1 with the henchman to deploy first. After Hydra deployed 2 of his crew, Lillith deploys and then Hydra deploys the rest of his crew. Before starting, both players pick the miniatures for their vendetta. Lillith decides on this Autumn Knight against this Torikage, and Hydra decides on this Torikage has a vendetta against this Autumn Knight. Phase 1. We flip for initiative. Lillith flips an 11 and Hydra a 7. Lillith wins. Lillith moves everything up the board and gets in position. Hydra spends everyone's first action moving too. Before his second action, he puts everyone in focus. This means that he can use the focus to get a positive flip for an action. Phase 2. Lillith flips a 12, but it isn't high enough because Hydra flips a red joker. Hydra wins. One of his Torikage moves and then attacks with Shuriken. He uses his focus to get a positive flip and flips 10 tomes and 13 crows. He decides to cheat in an 11 of masks. Lillith flips 4 rams. This would result in a normal damage flip, so Lillith cheats an 8 of masks. Hydra has now a double negative flip because Lillith's Autumn Knight is hard to wound. Through cheating, Hydra hits trigger Onslaught, which means he can take an action again targeting the same model. He flips 6, 5 and 6, which means weak damage, which means 1. Lillith has +1 armor, so tanks the hit. Repeat action. Hydra flips 13 crows, Lillith 6 masks. So Hydra is at 18 and Lillith is 12. The difference is 6, which normally is normal damage, but now negative because of the Autumn Knight's hard to wound. Hydra draws a 1 and a 12. So the weak damage gets negated by Lillith's armor. Lillith's turn. She moves one of her Autumn Knights and charges. Lillith flips a 6 of tombs. Hydra flips a 3 of crows. Lillith cheats with 9 of crows, so her total is 15. Hydra cheats with a 10 of rams to put Lillith in a negative damage flip. Lillith flips normal and weak damage, so does 2 damage to Hydra's Torikage. Hydra's turn. He charges into close combat. Because of this charge, Hydra triggers positive flip on his damage flip. Lillith cheats with a 5 of rams to trigger parry, which means she can attack back to this melee action. Hydra flips weak damage and cheats in to do normal damage. This means that he does 3 damage, -1 from the armor, and does 2 damage in total. Lillith flips for the parry and flips normal damage, but then, a black joker. She does 0 damage. Hydra has hit his mask trigger, so he can move up to 3 inches. Then, with his other action point, he charges again to get a trigger on his positive flip. Hydra uses his focus trigger to get a positive flip. Lillith flips 12 crows, so totals with 18. Hydra flips 5 and 11, so loses with a total of 16. Lillith's turn. She moves Aeslin and attacks Ototo with the K. He has to be within 8-inch range and she just makes it. This action does explosive damage, so she's excited. Hydra spends focus to make it a positive face-to-face flip. Hydra flips an 8 tomes and 2 masks, so totals at 12. Lillith flips a 2, so totals at 7. She cheats in a 7 of rams to win and gets to 13. A negative damage flip. She draws 2 1s and does 2 explosive damage. Because of the armor Ototo has, he only suffers 1 damage and gains injured +1. The Torikage also suffers damage because of the explosion and gains 1 damage and injured +1, so both their damage and defense are reduced by 1 until the end of the phase. Hydra activates Ototo and charges Aeslin. He gets a positive on damage because of his charge trigger. Lillith flips a 6 of rams, which totals to 11. Hydra flips 5 of tomes and also totals at 11. Double negative because a tie. Aeslin has hard to wound, but the flip can't be more negative. He does 4 damage. Aeslin is now at 5 health. Hydra's second action is to attack again. Lillith draws 4 of crows and Hydra 7 tomes. Hydra totals at 19 and Lillith at 9. Both can't cheat because they're out of cards, so negative flip becomes a double negative because of Aeslin's Heart to Wound. He does 3 weak damage. Aeslin only has 2 health left. Hydra gains his first victory point for assassination. Lillith is going to charge with her Autumn Knight. Lillith flips 4 of tomes and Hydra flips 11 of tomes. He's at 15 and Lillith is at 10, so she fails. Maybe she should have dropped an explosive token first, and had also considered using challenge, so Aeslin wouldn't get attacked. But there's only 1 mini left on Hydra's team. Is it worth it? She's going to challenge anyway, to try and save her henchmen as best she can. She would need a 13 to get this off. She flips her 13 tomes and triggers Mockery, which pushes the targeted Torikage into her underbrush marker. Hydra moves his Torikage out of the underbrush marker with half movement and charges at Lillith's Autumn Knight. He spends his focus to gain a positive flip on attack, and gains a positive flip on damage too, because of the charge through trigger. Lillith flips a 2 of masks, and Hydra flips a 6 of rams and a 10 of crows. His total is 15. Lillith's is 8. This would result in a normal flip because of the +7, but now becomes a positive through the charge through trigger. Hydra does double weak damage, and does 2 damage to Lillith's Autumn Knight that gets reduced by 1 through her armour. Then Hydra hits Lillith with a close combat action. Lillith flips a 2 and Hydra a 1. Hydra loses but gets a hit from Lillith that triggers her parry because of the ram flip. She does normal damage, so 3. It's Lillith's last turn. She moves and drops an explosive and also gains her first victory point of the game. Phase 3. Initiative flip. Lillith wins. Lillith starts with Aeslin because she only has 2 wounds left. She's attacking with Tangling Roots. She forgot to trigger her into Taunt last time and realised she lost out on 1 damage. She could have used some of that focus from Hydra. But the attack continues nonetheless. She attacks Ototo with Aeslin's close combat action. She flips a 1, so is at 6, and Hydra flips an 8, so is at 12. She cheats with 10 crows, so is now at 15 and wins. It's a negative flip for damage, so she does 2 damage, that gets lowered to 1 because of the armour. She triggers into Thorns through her crows and pushes Ototo into the underbrush marker. His armour protects him from the damage. For her second action, she's going to use the K on Ototo. She flips a 10 of masks and totals at 15. Hydra flips 4 of crows and totals at 8, but he flips 8 masks and put Lillith in a negative damage flip. She flips 11 and 2, so does weak damage. Ototo tanks 1 with his armour and gets hit with 1. The Torikage also gets hit with 1 from the explosion, but it is enough to kill him since he had only 1 health left. He drops his explosive that could be picked up by Lillith to plant later. Hydra activates Ototo and charges at Aeslin. Lillith flips a 7 of masks, so is at 12, and Hydra flips 13 of masks, so is at 19. Neither cheats. Because of Aeslin's Heart to Wound and Ototo's charge, they negate each other and there results in a normal damage flip. He flips 1 and does 3 damage. Aeslin only had 2 health left, so Ototo takes her out. Hydra gains another victory point for Assassin. Ototo is now going to attack the Autumn Knight. Lillith flips an 8 of tomes and Hydra flips a 3 of rams and cheats in 11 of crows. Lillith's total is 14, Hydra's is 17. Hydra is at a double negative flip because of the Autumn Knight's Heart to Wound. He does weak damage, which should be a 3, but the Autumn Knight has armour and tanks 1, so is now at full health. Lillith activates the Autumn Knight and attacks the Torikage that has already been hurt, with the exotic weapon. Lillith flips a 10 of tomes, and Hydra flips a 3 of tomes. Lillith cheats in a 7 of masks and total at 13. Hydra cheats in a 9 and beats the attack. Lillith attacks again and flips 13 of crows this time, and Hydra flips 2 of tomes. 19 versus 7. Lillith doesn't cheat. Hydra cheats at 7, so Lillith is at a normal damage flip. She flips and gets high damage. The 4 damage is enough to kill the Torikage. Vendetta feels for both. Hydra activates and walks away and charges the Autumn Knight. Charge action. Lillith flips a red joker and Hydra flips a black joker. So, yay? That's Hydra's turn. Lillith activates her Autumn Knights. Flips 5 and Hydra flips 8, so Lillith fills the attack. Lillith attacks again and both flips are 13. Lillith wins by 1, so it does a negative damage flip and does 2 damage. Lillith activates the other knight and attacks with the exotic weapon too. Lillith flips a 12 masks and Hydra has 7 masks. Normal damage flip. Lillith does weak damage but cheats in for normal damage, which does 3 minus 1 for the armor. Takes Ototo down to 5 health. Lillith gains a victory point and attacks again. Lillith flips a 9 and Hydra flips a 2. Hydra's at 6 and Lillith is 15. Normal damage flip. She does weak damage, which makes a 2 a 1 because of the armor. Phase 4. Initiative flip that Hydra wins with a 6 to a 3 from Lillith. Hydra activates Ototo. He gets a positive due to low health. Lillith flips 8 crows and it's at 14. Hydra flips 5 and 6 and is at 12. He cheated 10 of tomes and is at 16. A negative flip. But before that, Hydra triggers tomes and triggers move duel. Lillith needs to have higher than 13 or gain slow. She flips 9 plus a movement which is 5 makes a 14, so she passes. Negative flip becomes double negative due to hard to wound. Does 3 damage minus the 1 for the armor, so 2 damage in total. Second action. Lillith flips 6 of tomes and totals at 11. Hydra flips 5 and 12, which totals at 18. He's in normal damage after the 7 difference, hard to wound and positive trigger. He's cheating the red joker and does 6 damage and adds the rams, so 5 damage and kills another knight. Lillith activates and moves another autumn knight and drop a marker. Hydra activates Torikage and runs as fast as his little legs can take him. Lillith activates an autumn knight and moves up to Ototo. Lillith gains another victory point. Phase 5, the last phase. Lillith wins initiative. The autumn knight charges. Hydra flips a 12 and is at 16. Lillith flips a 2 and is at 8. She can't cheat higher. Her attack fails, but she's going to attack again. Lillith flips a 12 and is at 18, and Hydra flips a 4 and is at 8. Hydra cheats a 13, so is now at 17, so this means a negative damage flip. Lillith flips for damage, and it's a black joker, so she doesn't do any damage at all. Hydra activates his Torikage and drops an explosive to gain a victory point. At that point, they call the game. Hydra ends up with 2 points for Assassin and 1 point for Plant Explosive. Lillith has 2 points for Plant Explosive and 1 for Assassin. Our first game is a tie. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had as much fun as we did. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and we hope to see you next time.